All right, everyone. Hello, hello. All right, you guys got me? Cool. All right, so you guys, Bitcoin hit a $1 trillion market cap the other day. Things are looking really sweet, and we're gonna jump straight into it. Here's our algo giga trend. I want to point out we have been long. Our last long lit up on the 4 hour at 43.8. Things have been looking good. This is just covering technicals first. Um, Our Giga Trend algo has been fucking amazing. Since 2023, you'd be up 123% right now. We're on the 4 hour opening up another long. We closed our long right here at 48.7 from, again, 43.8. We've opened up our next long on the 4 hour at 51.5 roughly. And so this is open. We're in an open long right now. This is looking good. And to me, with something like with Gigatrend being like a technical indicator, basically it's saying don't be risking any shorts right now. In fact, it's probably better to be aimed up. But we're gonna have to see how far this thing's willing to roll, and we'll cover some of the order book here in a minute. Looking at the daily chart, flip into daily algo signals. Again, our Gigatrend daily algo would have had you long 45K with a 73% profit since 2023. So things are looking pretty sweet. So we're in an active daily long combined with a new active 4 hour. So right now, technicals are kind of saying, yo, looks like the sky's the limit on this one. We haven't really done enough to convince the technical market participants that this thing's ready to flip. So we have a couple strong technical reasons right now why we should keep heading up. And if you guys want to check that out, go to sazanalytica.com, click the link below the video. You guys can get 2 weeks free of Gigatrend. Check that out. I know you'll love it. So I also want to cover. I also want to make sure we cover. Oh snap! Yeah, the $1 trillion market cap. I mean, you guys. Yo, what's up, Winston and everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in. Much love to you all. Tone's gonna be here in like 5-10 minutes. He's just running a little late. Um, the $1 trillion market cap thing, that's kind of a big deal. I know, like, we've always been talking about the validity, or the conversation's always been out there, not necessarily amongst each other, but like, for the people that scrutinize Bitcoin. ETF approved, 1 trillion market cap broken. Things are looking really good right now for us. I mean, seems like we've been on the right side of history for a long time now, but there's definitely, I think, some strong proof right now. Pim, all fine, just got my Celsius coins back. Fucked up low amount, but at least something. Damn, dude, that's crazy. Don't worry, all cubes, you'll get your tone. You guys also, just so you know, this is what some of the Discord stuff looks like. I make sure to post a heads up every single day what the action looks like, what my thoughts on it are, for better or for worse. This is how the market is, right? So you guys check out the Discord VIP. Again, 2 weeks for free. You guys can check that out. Click the link below the video. On to some order books. You know what? Let's take a quick look at CME gaps too while we have it. We finally cracked into our long-standing CME gap from all the way back in December of 2021. We're 2 years later, just a little bit over 2 years later, man. Yo, what's up, MJ Moonbow? Jolly V, own de la long, yeah. Fucking A, man. Miss you. So you guys, our CME gap, our last CME gap to the upside. This is the only remaining CME gap that we have to the upside. Been open since December 2021. Finally getting breached. I mean, this is pretty crazy. This is pretty crazy. We are not far from filling it either. I mean, we CME high at 53,145, and our CME gap high is 53,545. We basically we came within an earshot of closing this gap out. So we're almost done closing all gaps to the upside, which is fucking crazy. So yeah, I know a lot of people don't like CME gaps, but man, they've been fucking very useful for a long time. So yeah, this one's about to close. We're really close. Now on to some order book analysis. This whole run has been littered with sell signals, little pullbacks, and then of course we get some band light ups into these signals. We got buyers chasing the book, and it just keeps getting out of control. We had a lot of resistance over here. I should tell a little bit of the full story too. I feel like it's important. But after we fell down into some beautiful buy signals, right after we had our first crash after the ETF news, we had sell walls, two $50 million sell walls sprout up on Binance, and they capped us out at 44K and 45K. Then they pulled their orders, and then we started moving up. Had some resistance, had some buyers. Everything was looking pretty normal. Everything's good, and then we got bullish out of nowhere, just like started climbing up. I don't really know what the fundamental kicker was on that. We've been trying to discover some of those bits of information, but the fundamental kicker likely there was one thing, the most valuable thing that I found as far as fundamental kickers go, is that there is a Chinese like firms were starting to tell people that a proper allocation into Bitcoin is 30%. I really do think that that's the best that I've found to cover the fundamental kicker as to what could have caused this. But typically in bull markets, this is what you'll see. In bull markets, you'll see support get checked and hold, whereas in a bear market, you'll see support getting resistance getting wrecked and support holding, right? So where our support, where we had triple band support, triple overlay support, bid-ask spread spot markets looking super fucking wide, bid-ask perp markets looking super sweet as well. Just create that support we absolutely needed in the very high 30s, low 40s, and then we start our climb. And as we get to this point of resistance, there's something going on to where that sell side liquidity is a buyer's wet dream. There's probably a lot of buyers out there that want to accumulate Bitcoin with minimal slippage. They want as little slippage as possible. And thank you, Al Cubes. Hit that like button, guys. That Zone Capone. Thank you so much, you guys. Everyone, hit that like button. Appreciate the support for the channel. I always love you guys, and thank you for that. So in a bull market, which, and this is, some may say, hey, it's so obvious we've been in a bull market. Well, look, there's some things that make that obvious fact a little more clear. Bitcoin does have a lot of volatility to it, so it's not safe to just assume any of these things, right? But to clearly see here that we hit the resistance, we popped that resistance, and why would that happen, especially in a bull market, right? The argument is that buyers want to minimize their slippage. And the same thing in a bear market. Why are there bounces and why are there support zones? Because bears want to minimize their slippage. Now that we had all this time for frickin' for us to resolve some of this ETF curiosity and so forth, and not to mention potential fundamental kickers like Chinese funds telling families to allocate 30% of their capital into Bitcoin. Well, now we have some fundamental kickers running around the street, right? And so we have all this fucking resistance, buyers running up the price, chasing, and then in addition to buyers running the price up, we have buyers chasing the book, creating support as we move along, which we see here. We can see a strong dominance of support in the 5 to 10% band distance from the book. So even if we came down, we were going to have support, which you can clearly see right here. We did. Our trend bias signals turned into legit trade signals, and we pumped the heck out of there. Now, now these buyers, whether they be BlackRock and Grayscale or whoever, they took on this heavy overhead resistance in addition to the rest of the market participants and annihilated the sellers in pretty violent fashion. I mean, this resistance was holding pretty well, and then inch by inch we got a slightly higher high. And just so we pause here for a quick second, you guys, what's going to make you a better analyst and a better trader is to understand the market of the story of the market. I'm explaining to you guys in like a very story style format because I know a lot of you are out there learning and trying to become better analysts and better traders. And I think the most valuable thing that you can ever do is see the psychology of the step-by-step moments that it took to create one situation from another. And we're looking at a series of colors and bars and trying to make the best conclusions that we possibly can, right? And so a time like this is very important, I think, when what's going to separate you, who's just another person looking at numbers and bars and colors, from someone else. Well, to truly understand the story of the market, I think it's going to give you that edge. It's certainly done a lot of help to me. So that's in case anyone's wondering, in case we have any new viewers, old viewers, whatever. I just want to reiterate that fact, and to any of the new viewers, explain that this is a story, and the story is, look, as we continue to breach these higher areas, our highest areas relative to our previous bull market, we take them out inch by inch. We cap here, 47,000, make a local high. a new high within hours to 48K, and then we struggle to fight that, but cup and handle our way into a new high. And this is the kind of stuff that's going to put the bears on their heels. How are the bulls continuously pushing bears on their heels when we have all these other dudes stacked in the book selling with us? Are we wrong? That's where you start to get the fear, right? The fear in the sell side. They're going to start to pull orders. Bulls are getting more bullish as price goes up, which is obviously a phenomenon in cryptocurrency, maybe in other assets, but a very large phenomenon in cryptocurrency in Bitcoin, where as price goes up, more and more people are willing to buy. As price goes down, people are saying experiment failed. Bitcoin went from 70K to 15K. Experiment failed. Whereas you should be looking at it as an absolute discount. So we have our situation here where buyers are getting more bullish as price goes up, sellers are getting more nervous about their orders as price goes up until eventually the price until we nuke those orders and whoever is up there, stop losses get triggered, orders get pulled, buyers get everything that they want out of the situation. We did have our little pullback. Our signals remain consistent with now active trade bans, our trend bias bands turning into trade bans, and we go on to continue nuking resistance. Now where do we sit? What is on your head, bro? Headphones and a hood. And where do we sit now? We sit now after confirming our support, a new high, newer high, high, and high. So we're consistently making these new highs again. And of course, um, as we're making these new highs, we start to get our sell side signals start to fizzle out. Now we're talking about roughly a fair fight in the book. Obviously, you can see a massive wall here at 53K. Things are looking pretty solid. This 53K wall has been there for a little while. You can see that I'm hovering over a price point 53K. We don't have a wick that tapped that just yet. We do have wicks that came close. But now we have a 53K sell wall, 227 Bitcoin, 53. That's a couple 100,000 right there. So we're talking to the upside resistance wise. We're not really dealing with too much stuff. This is the most significant wall we have with the front runner sell side book with the 113 pack leaning up against a 3047 dynamic range pack down to 33. So very dynamic behavior at this 52,000 support zone, with followed by 70 pack, 30s, 50, and then 51.3 we got 119, 80 pack at 51 flat. So we have support chasing the book as we run up. So now we don't even have signals. Our perpetual markets, aggregated perp markets, are getting real excited about this price action. We have a very wide bid-ask spread in aggregated perpetual markets. And keep in mind, the best and smartest traders, and probably some of the biggest losers, of course, but the biggest and most profitable and smartest traders are trading perps. They are all leaning long. I mean, we did have a little bit of period of indecision, a little tight bid-ask spread going on for some time at various points. But look how wide our bid-ask spread is getting in aggregated perpetual markets. It's getting huge right now. And you can see as we've gone up, a lot of these static sell orders have been getting deleted by buyers. Buyers are just absorbing that liquidity. And so you can see the bid-ask spread in aggregated spot markets falling off huge. You can see the sellers fall off massively, buyers remaining relatively constant, and now we're kind of running parallel, almost nearly flipping in and out into a bullish confluence here as we move up in price. Very, very strong buyer behaviors here, and very weak selling behaviors. That combination is what creates a very volatile and beautiful bull market for Bitcoin. So that's where we're at now. We don't have any signals to the upside, no signals to the downside. We have a very wide bid-ask spread, perpetual aggregated perpetual markets, a very tight bid-ask spread, slightly ask-dominant aggregated spot markets. And you can see there's a couple walls worth note. 55K, we have a 188 wall, 54K. And you know what? Let's take a broad look at this too. Look at all the support chasing. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Taking a look at $1,000 aggregations. Look how fast we fall off. Obviously, where we had our largest support check in the low 40s, high 30s, right? Just a week or two ago, whatever it was. Look at all the support that we have down there. We have tens and tens of millions of dollars worth of orders stacked and set and forget orders. stacked at the 35 to 38K range. But then looking at what we have as we've run up, right? 48K was the new high, 49K was the new high at the time, just days ago. And you can see we have a 502 buy wall there. And it's been like that for at least a few days now, because the last time we were at 48K was February 12th. That's 3 days ago. So for days now, we've had orders in the book stacked at 48K. We have orders chasing the book at 49K, 233 Bitcoin, 320 Bitcoin, at 50K chasing the book, of course, and dealing with the competition to buy element, which is the most dynamic behavior we'll have. 580 Bitcoin at the top of the book. Buyers chasing the run. We have buyers that are competing, standing on every other foot that they possibly can in order to get their fucking chance to look out the window, in order to get their chance to look and get their Bitcoins before someone else does. That's how many fucking people we have right now. We have our most significant wall since our support was checked. This is how bullish we are. Our most significant wall since the bulls got checked hard is leading the front end of the book. This is absolutely insane and very very bullish as well, guys. Very bullish. So this is looking still very strong for us. Um, our most significant sell wall, top end of the book, right? So now that's why we're dealing with the fair fight. You can see the signals here, none overhead, none down below. So this is going to probably play out. We're going to have to play this out for a little while. Some of our most significant trades that we've seen, let's just take a quick look and see what kind of volume we're dealing with here. Let's look at 1 million and above. 1 million and above. Okay, so we're talking at price points above 50K. We're seeing 30 packs. You know, these are tens of millions of dollars involved. Buys and sells a 70 pack that sold at $52,021 at 11 hours ago. So 11 hours ago, we had someone dump, you know, a lot of fucking money. Let's pull this up. So let's see, 70 Bitcoin times 52,000. Someone dropped, oh, not tens of millions. Well, that's my bad. I do truly apologize for that, guys. But 3.6 million. All right. So we're talking some $1 million orders are running through. Um, it's looking real good right now. Oh, all right, everyone. Let's take a quick pause. Thank you so much. We have a special guest now, Tone. Always great to have you. Love you, dog. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Hey Joe, sorry I'm a little late. Had like a last minute phone call that I had to deal with, and yeah, glad to be on the show. How long you been streaming? 5, 10 minutes?
Like
20?
10, 15.
Perfect.
Yeah, we've covered a
All
good bit of
right.
stuff, and yeah, a lot of people been asking for you, man, and we're very curious to hear your takes on the larger time frames here, man.
Yeah. Let's well, I would love to hear your take on the market yourself. So, I don't know if you want to pull up Trader. I haven't seen Trader in a while. We gotta utilize that more on our new YouTube channel, Financial Summit.
Mm,
I need an expert like yourself, or maybe I know a couple of other guys that actually use Trader very effectively. So it'll be cool, but we do want to get that element in there. So if you want to go back to your screen share
yep.
before I do mine. I'm curious what Trader looks like. But as you know, I like the bigger time frames.
Yeah.
I like the daily and weekly. So I would love to see what Trader has to say on a daily time frame.
Yeah. So just real quickly before we flip to a daily, I'll just point out that we have absolutely annihilated a lot of this resistance as we did. Buyers chased the book aggressively. So we got trend bias signals lighting us up as we took off. So things are looking good there. Let's take a look at the daily.
Have you attempted to short this run up in the last 3 days?
Not in the last 3 days. I will say I did attempt to do it within the past 7 days probably, and I was in a trading competition playing out the channel, and I got fucking, let's just say I went from like fourth place to last quickly.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's trade comp life. We all know that there's risks you take in trade competitions that you don't necessarily take in real day-to-day trading. But um, here's the daily chart, and just one of the things that I feel like it's so important to point out right now. This is what the bottom looked like after we had some of these turbulent top situations with the
Oh,
ETF.
can you zoom in on that a little bit? Yep, perfect. Okay.
So
Yep,
you can
that's good.
look at it right here still, Tone. We're talking the push into the 38K range, the low 40s, high 30s. All that support is still there. Over 1,000 Bitcoin at 37, over 1,000 Bitcoin at 36 and 35. So this was very convincing, very solid, and beautiful bottom. Now we have set and forget positions there in massive
Yeah,
quantities.
I will say that at that low, at that $38,000 low, I was kind of hoping, praying, and expecting us to bottom out at like just under 36 or around 36. So I
Mhm.
was right near the low,
Yeah,
but just based on MRI and other metrics, I just wanted one more day of downside and I didn't get it.
yeah, yeah. That's Bitcoin doesn't always give us what we want, right?
Yeah.
Freaking
But like I was looking for that area to be the perfect buy-in opportunity. I just thought it was going to be $1,000 lower. So I guess I was getting a little picky there.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and look, it's still there, man. This is one of the most amazing things that I think we can have going into the halving, going into this consistent run up. We're still talking that those orders are there. Those guys are hanging out. So now we've broken. This is what it looks like on the daily. Our sell side range was pretty consistent with the same signals, but buyers just broke through that, and yeah, now sellers look like they're in big trouble.
$1,000 lower.
Yeah,
So I guess I
we
was
got currently at the top of the book, we have 580, 590 Bitcoin chasing this run, stepping on each other to try to get their order filled. And so the most significant wall that we have until that resistance is at the top of the book right now. So this to me is all saying, pretty bullish stuff. And, our Giga Trend algo, 4 hour and daily are both long right now. So to me, the technicals are long. The order book is expressing a lot of buying behavior. So I think we're definitely in that emotional kind of Bitcoin goes up, more people buy type stuff.
Yeah, and it looks like today's candle, that's the daily chart.
Yep.
Today's candle has relieved the overbought condition.
Has done what?
Relieved the
Okay.
overbought condition.
So what do you mean by that?
Like you don't have one of your top out zones above the candle.
Okay. Yeah, and one thing to point out is we could spend 3 weeks overbought. This RSI getting cooked a little bit. I'm not too nervous about it, and you don't seem like you are either.
On the overbought part,
Yeah.
I am nervous, so I actually took profit today on several of my positions. Now on my new it's not my new channel, but on the new channel, on the new show, I haven't streamed on my channel all week. So I've been a guest on a financial summit network, which has just launched with a couple of shows. And over there, we do like a daily, sort of like a daily trading contest. Like we
Uh,
just enter one position for 24 hours. And over there, I've been trying to short this top, but in my real account, I've been long this whole time, other than today.
mhm.
Today is when I took profit. And the reason why I took profit is because today is a daily MRI top. And I'll
Okay.
talk more about that when I take over screen share.
Mhm.
But it looks to me on the trader platform on a daily scale, it's possible for it to go higher because there is no like you don't have one of those deep red
Yeah.
things on top there.
Yeah. It's the sell. That's the sell side dominance has dissipated over the last hours. That's what I'm saying. There's so many buyers chasing this run right now. It's absolutely insane. Uh, So I'm with you. I think there is room to run up a bit further, and I think we've hit that emotional point. This is the signals fizzling out. We checked a little bit of support after a nice vertical move. We kind of Bart Simpson, but the trend bias signals remain consistent. We got buy signals in there, and then they've been taking over the narrative. These buyers. So yeah, these sellers are starting to fizzle out. No signals. We've even made it to a higher price point than when we had signals before, and there's nothing left. So I don't really let's just say I wouldn't want to be if I was had a short bias, it would be a no trade zone for me right now.
Yeah. Oh, for me right now is actually look, I'm still long in my long-term retirement accounts, but on a short-term basis. This MRI top, I think, is actually shortable, and you have a very clear indication of a bad trade, and that's simply the break of this morning's highs
Hmm.
at like what, 52,600 or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
But yeah, let me know if you want me to go on screen share.
yeah. Let's do it right now. I'm gonna stop share, and ladies and gentlemen, again, let's welcome our guests. If you guys have questions, throw them in the comments. Oh, it looks like Tone's in there too. So
Yeah, I'm in the comments.
yeah, man, everyone
All
loves
right,
you,
let
Tone.
me.
Everyone.
I'm gonna do it on this side. Okay. Let me get back into Zoom here, and I guess it's this Twitter. All right, well, let's ignore the Twitter. I'm gonna start with the higher level time frame, but the daily is the time frame that I need to. I don't know why that keeps showing up. The daily is the main time frame. Are they gonna show up on all of them? Jesus. I don't know why. Anyway, that's super annoying. So the daily is the main time frame, but on a weekly scale, this has been an unprecedented run up. I don't like the fact that on a weekly scale, I mean, it's just unfortunate that the monster breakout candle happened to be the price flip candle or the trend change candle of the MRI indicator. I was hoping that the week of February 5th would be more of a doji style candle, and then we break out above the prior closing highs on a green star candle. It just makes it much easier for me to trade. That's when the chart pattern is in line with the MRI. Now, here's what I mean when I expected the pullback. I sold right here at the top, right before the ETFs came. I sold the majority of my long exposure to Bitcoin, and I was looking to buy back in perfectly right here at below 38. I was looking at 36, 37 and a half, and we just missed it. So I got back in around here, back at 40. I went back into a long position, but on a short-term trading basis, would have been nice if this green star candle came one candle earlier. So this was my expectation, and I expected Bitcoin to top out pre-halving in the 52,500 to $57,500 range. This was like the box, as I've been talking about this box, probably for over a month now, that this is where, or not over a month, but about a month, ever since we started to fall, mid-January, I've been talking about this rebound, and this is where I would be taking profit. Now, we just hit the bottom side of that box, but we hit it like a month and a half early. And that creates a little bit of an issue for me as far as identifying whether this is a overbought condition, and it is happening much faster, so it's definitely overbought, but the FOMO is real, and this thing can keep going. So in my Consensio allocation, I'm 100% bullish long, but in my personal account, earlier today at around 10 a.m., that's my favorite time to trade is 10 a.m.
Mm.
I took out, I sold a bunch of call options that I had that made me nice money on Bitfarms. I sold all of my shares in the BlackRock ETF, but I'm holding on to my shares in the Fidelity ETF, and I took some profit from all of this bullishness that I've been enjoying. Now, the main reason, like 90% of the reason why I took all that profit today is because of the MRI top and what is now looking like the perfect reversal candle. This is what you call like a gravestone doji.
Hmm.
And uh, to me, this looks like the perfect time for a pullback. Of course, we can go higher tomorrow. Who knows? But I took my profit at 10 a.m., which was pretty much at the high of day. Everyone knows I trade at 10 a.m. Those of you that think that I only talk, I literally said it this morning in the 7:30 a.m. video that that's what I plan to do. So, and now I'm looking for a pullback. I don't know how big the pullback's going to be. I think that unlikely we go lower than 46,000 if it's a serious pullback. Most likely is just going to be more consolidation and then more upside. Everyone's FOMOing for the halving.
Hmm.
But I could not ignore the samurai top, and I took my profit. Not on everything, but if tomorrow is a down day, If tomorrow we're trading below 51.5, I will be reducing my long Bitcoin exposure even more. This I can actually remove. Don't need that. Short-term chart, the 1 hour chart, we did go up. We made that high at 9 in the morning candle. We topped out close to 10 a.m. I was exiting at 10 a.m. right around here. And right now, this does not look good to me at all. We are consolidating near the 24-hour lows, and the break of this low has one last shot at support here at 51,250. And if this moving average and that MRI support line gets broken, then the next best support level is here at 50,000 flat, which would also coincide with the 200 period moving average on the 1 hour scale. So these are the kinds of positions I'm looking at in our little 24-hour trading contest. I went pretty heavy short this morning at 7 in the morning, but I have been like trying at the short position for the last 3 days. They were unleveraged, however.
Mm-hmm.
This is a highly leveraged short. And right now, I have a very clear defined stop loss, the break of the 10 a.m. high, which is as clear to me as anything. And the more I'm confident in my stop loss, the more I'm confident in when I know I've made a mistake, the more confident I am in the size of that trade. So to me, the number one, I guess, indicator of how heavy leverage I'm going on a trade, real or theoretical, is completely dependent on how sure I am about my stop loss and how confident I am that the stop loss alters my view, if that makes sense to
Dude,
your
that's one
viewers.
of the wisest things I've heard a trader say in a long time. That's really something to think about. I don't think about it like that, but you really fucking got the hamster wheel rolling up over here, man. I'm gonna think about that one. That's
All right,
wisdom
so
right
that's
there.
yeah, so that's kind of my view on Bitcoin. Happy to discuss any other topics, any other coins you look at, or traditional markets, whatever you like.
Um, well, while you're on screen share, is there something that's speaking out to you? I mean, one thing that I am curious about is like historically Bitcoin goes up, shitcoins follow, and we haven't really seen like the shitcoin like price annihilations, right? We've seen Solana going up consistently, and maybe Ethereum, and maybe a couple others. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Solana's been incredibly resilient, though that's a nasty candle today. Today's candle looks very weak on Solana, but uh, Solana still has this trend line that it's losing today. So this could be the first sign of trouble for Solana. Now, I will say as long as Solana is holding these lows, and I am looking at it versus Bitcoin, I know people trade it versus dollars, but at the end of the day, it's what it's done against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And my reason and my logic for that is, it's not like we're talking about Apple stock. For a person that is analyzing Apple stock, they need to measure their performance of Apple stock against the S&P 500 because that person is involved in the stock market. And if they're not trading Apple stock, they're going to be holding the stock market long. And if holding the stock market makes them more money than actively trading Apple, then what are they doing with their life, right?
Mm.
They are wasting time, energy, and losing money on top of it. When it comes to trading altcoins, an altcoiner is not going to keep his money in the S&P 500 versus not trading altcoins. A person trading altcoins is going to keep their money in Bitcoin. So the benchmark for all altcoin trading needs to be Bitcoin. And if you are not able to outperform Bitcoin with your altcoin trading, then you are wasting your life because you can just put it in Bitcoin, do nothing, and make more money. So this
Amen.
is why I always measure altcoins against Bitcoin, regardless of the most liquid way to trade them, which is, of course, US dollars. So I would say against Bitcoin, Solana has 3 very critical support levels, and they are all next to each other. Maybe 4 if you count this trend line that is going to break today. So you broke the trend line. Now you have the horizontal line right here with the lows because you already lost both moving averages. Below that, you have the daily MRI support line, and you have right below that, you have the modified Lucid SAR from the alphanumerics indicator, but it's pretty much the same thing. On a weekly scale, though, that's why they're all consistent. And then you have this prior swing low. This is a cluster of support for Solana. If Solana loses this cluster of support, its next level of support is all the way down here at the prior swing highs, which is at 0.0017. And below that, it's in serious trouble because by the time it gets to that, it will be at its 200 period moving average or close to it, and things can really unravel. So Solana doesn't really have much room here. It made its high against Bitcoin back in December, and it needs to get back over that hump very, very soon, or it's going to start looking like Binance coin, right? The Binance token, though I'm going to move this to a weekly scale, where it kept going higher, 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 and then it couldn't go higher, and it completely collapsed. That is what tends to happen. So this is Solana's shot to somewhat get back to the promised land. Other than that, Ethereum has been treading water, but I don't like the overall look of Ethereum. It's been in a decline for a year and a half, and this little rise that it had a couple of weeks ago, or right after Bitcoin ETF launched, was nowhere near enough to get it out of its bear trend. And it's literally hugging that a monster support, its final support level before the floor falls under it. A currency like Monero is in deep, deep trouble. I hate these like data errors, but Monero has lost its critical support, and I think now it's going to head to new all-time lows. And I've stated the day of the halving that Litecoin will fall 80% against Bitcoin over the next few years, and we are halfway there. We have fallen 40% on its way to 80%. It's always done this after every single Litecoin halving. It always falls 80%, and it's not going to be different this time. And by the time the next halving rolls around, it will lose its mining infrastructure. Everyone will just stop mining. They will alter the hashing algorithm. They will make it short to 56, and they will merge mining with Bitcoin. I'm expecting mining of Litecoin to end by the end of this decade. It's gonna basically mimic what Doge did, where everyone just stopped mining and the coin had to change the code, merge mine with a stronger coin, which in the case of Doge was Litecoin. And in the case of Litecoin, it was going to be Ethereum. Ethereum has removed its mining, so it's going to be Bitcoin. They're just going to alter the hashing algorithm.
Interesting. Yeah. And didn't Monero get delisted from a couple exchanges recently?
Maybe, I don't know. It could have. But the problem with Monero is holding it long term is just a good way to lose money.
Yeah.
This is just in dollar terms. Like in Bitcoin terms, it's even worse. Here's the Bitcoin version of it. This is the one I should be looking at. It's literally playing with its all-time low.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we always say like, trade your shit coins, do what you got to do, but the stuff that's going into if you have a kid and they have a college fund, you say you have a kid tomorrow and you're trying to prepare a college fund, the only thing going in there is Bitcoin. So yeah, this is, yeah.
Yeah, so someone in the live chat just asked me about my
Mhm.
positions in my retirement account. I am completely out of GBTC. I have zero exposure to GBTC. I have flipped all my GBTC into IBIT and FBTC But today I sold all my IBIT, and when I buy back in, I'm only going to buy FBTC. I would rather support Fidelity with my
Mm.
money than BlackRock. I think these are the two most liquid. If BlackRock starts to run away with the liquidity over FBTC, if BlackRock gets options trading and FBTC does not, I will have to convert from Fidelity back into BlackRock. But right now, I'm comfortable with holding the Fidelity. I also have call options on Bitfarms. I'm not going to say what percentage I sold. It was close to half. I took my profit. I had a bunch of $3 calls on Bitfarms. I took profit from that today. And the reason I took profit today is because I am not comfortable with the daily MRI buy. Actually, one more thing. I'm keeping my own track of Bitcoins in the Bitcoin ETFs. I now update this once a week. I will update it. I update it as of Friday, so I'll wait for Monday's numbers, and then I'll update this so you can see how it's performed on a weekly basis. This used to be daily, but daily is not relevant anymore. Now I'm using weekly. So on a weekly basis, the week of January 26th was the worst. GBTC sold 10,000 more Bitcoin than all the other ETFs combined bought. But look at it last week. The week ending February 9th, ended up buying 23,000 more Bitcoin than GBTC sold. That helps explain the monster rallies last week. And
Mm.
let's see how this week turns out. I'm expecting it to be another positive day. This is what I keep track of. I keep track of liquidity as well. It's really important to me, the average numbers of shares traded. And you can see how the BlackRock ETF is actually significantly higher than the Fidelity ETF. You do have to keep in mind that the Fidelity ETF is at a higher price. When something's at a higher price, it's going to trade less shares.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also see it by tradable value. That's when I multiply the average numbers of shares traded by the price of those shares. BlackRock has traded $500 million on average per day,
Damn.
and Fidelity 300 million. So that's 40% higher or thereabouts. That's about 40% higher. If this number is, let's say, 75% higher, I may have to hold BlackRock instead. I'm sorry, guys. It's loyalties are loyalties, but I care about the money in my retirement account. So I will hold the most liquid. And once options trading comes in, it will matter. You can see that as of Friday, BlackRock was holding 87,000 Bitcoin, while Fidelity 73,000. The rest of them, the amount of Bitcoin they're holding has not been increasing much. Can't wait for Friday's numbers. But yeah, I keep my own data. Don't trust verify. I have all the links here that I go to, and I pull the data manually, copy and paste right from their websites.
That's pretty legit, man. I like what you're doing there. That's some
All right,
hardcore street level analysis right there.
I'm gonna jump host screen share. I gotta get a new graphic for the next financial summit. So close to signing that Maldives contract. This has been my life for the last 2 weeks,
Okay.
and hopefully later this week, and then I'll be able to bring more information. Man, that Maldives event is gonna be amazing. I'm expecting it to sell out like months before the event happens. It's still a year away.
Okay, yeah.
So the viewers should keep in mind.
What's the can you explain a couple of the events you have coming up here? We just had Unconfiscatable in December. It was a fucking blast. I know I've said that to you already, but much needed trip, much needed vacation, much needed trip for me, and I had an absolutely amazing time. So what else is in the future for your events?
Yeah, let's do the financial summit first. The website is thefinancialsummit.com. And this would be the resort that we're going to use. And those that sign up early, and I'm trying to pull off Maldives at a $9,000 price, which anyone that knows anything about the Maldives is actually unheard of. But I'm still trying to do it. I wish I did this event 2 years ago. The Maldives doubled the taxes that people pay. Maldives used to charge an 8% tax on everything you do there, including booking rooms. Now that tax is 26%.
Hmm.
Completely insane. This is what happens when your country shuts down for the pandemic and
Mm,
realizes that the only revenue it makes is from tourism that you decided to cut off voluntarily. But we are going to the Maldives, and you can get all the information here. We're gonna update all of this. We're going to be updating the website very, very soon. We're going to have the room availability. Everything's there. It's a retreat for traders, 5 days long. Joe's been, I think you've been to one or two. You've been to two of them.
yeah,
You've been to
too.
Bali and Dominican Republic.
Correct.
They were incredible.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to go to the Maldives. So please keep an eye on that. And the other event
Oh, there's
is,
I see
uh,
that guy.
yeah, the other event is unconfiscatable. We just completed it. Well, back in December, the videos are online. I got to release individual videos. I don't have dates for the next event yet. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2024. If it does happen in 2024, we'll be in September,
Mm.
and I'll do it on a short notice, maybe 6 month notice. It'll probably stay small, 200 to 300 people. It may be at a different venue, but it'll still be downtown Las Vegas. Not really sure why the video's not playing. Let me just refresh the. Uh, there we go. We've been at the D Hotel for 4 unconfiscatables. I want to move to either a nicer hotel or just a private venue that I know people have. And this is a standard Bitcoin conference, not a retreat, but it's so different. It's so much fun. It's not corporate at all. No one has to watch what they say. It's very few sponsors. No one is shilling anything. It's just a fun place to be. I don't know any event like it. And this year, the only other Bitcoin event you will see me at this year is going to be BitBlock Boom. And this small chance I'll be in Nashville for Bitcoin 2024. Small chance I'll be in LA for Swan's event. I am a little burned out from the events, but this I just have fun at, and that's why I do it.
Yeah, this is I mean, between the two events, I love the intimacy of something like the Bali trip, or the financial summit. It's a great time. You really get to sit down, smoke cigars, talk to people, and get to know each other. Obviously, the same with Unconfiscatable, but man, I gotta say that it's just one hell of a good time. Vegas, man, I really love Vegas so much. Little bit of degeneracy from time to time, gotta hit that. So yeah. Anything else? I know you have time, engagements after all this. So, is there anything that you wanted to get to? Because we're obviously appreciative of charts, but yeah, I have a couple charts that I can go into as well. But kind of got your thoughts on some of those.
No, up to you. I got a little bit of time. We have a Twitter space coming up on the financial summit.
Okay.
Twitter handle, I still call it Twitter. Twitter handle at 3 p.m. Eastern, so a little over 1 hour, 1 hour, 10 minutes from now.
Okay.
So I have a little bit of time. If you want to pull up your charts, maybe I'll ask you questions.
Yeah,
Or if any of your audience have questions for me or you have questions for me, happy to entertain.
I'll think about some questions for you because I was paying close attention to what you said. I think that wisdom of what you said, the more comfortable you are in your stop loss, the more scared you are of your trade. That's something it's going to be hard for me to forget. I'm going to remember that one. So this is our Giga trend right now. This is on the daily. We're in an active long. I'm just kind of circling back. Um, I'm just circling back.
Any chance you could make the chart bigger by dropping the bottom pan?
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
so here's Giga trend just so you can see a bit of it. It has a
I'm
t
not familiar. I'm not too familiar with Gigatrend. That's your indicator as well, right?
Yeah, correct. So that's indicator me and Fabian, who I hope you'll be meeting pretty soon. Available sazanalytica.com. Click the link below the video, of course, and it's 2 weeks free if anyone wants to try it out. 2 weeks free right now. So it has. This is the daily. Let's. I love the daily because this is actually the confirmation that I use to get based on the 4 hour. So let's take a quick look at the 4 hour, and we'll look at a couple assets. But let me get rid of this. We had this up to point out the percentages we were discussing earlier. So it has a tendency to get you in the big moves well, very well. Um, So right now we're long at 43. We're closed long at 48.8, and we're long again. So we're in an active 4 hour long on Giga Trend. And of course, what we just pulled up was the daily, which we're still in an active daily long. So to me, this is looking pretty good. As far as technicals go, because the order book is going to get shredded from time to time, as we can see. So there's something technical that you got to lean on, and that's what I'm looking at on the technical end of the spectrum. We had a good situation going on, 4 hour, confirmed by the daily. So Gigatrend is in a long. And the reason I brought up some of the other, something like Solana, our Gigatrend Solana chart, um, it's been pretty, like I said, I'm a little surprised that something like Solana's been doing all this work. We are in another active long right now, but Solana's been doing a lot of the work. It has fizzled out though. It has kind of gone sideways and down, maybe recovered some of that, while Bitcoin's gone pretty consistently up over the past number of weeks. So this is where we're at with Solana, and one of our favorites to trade with Gigatrend, PAPE, massive, massive percentage gains beginning 2023. Uh, Crazy 1,000 plus percent in an active long now. So I mean, this is like the one thing where we're looking at like a meme coin, right? And it's starting to do some of the Bitcoin stuff. So yeah, what are your thoughts on like something like the meme coins, right? Solana, let's say there's more shitcoin validity to Solana because people can explain that there's more technological reasoning for something like that to exist in a 5 to 10 year future. But do you have any thoughts on why like the meme coins are starting to go up pape here? Is there anything that you have to say about those types of coin behaviors, the Doge coins and the
So,
Shiba Inus and
so
the
I, so Joe, so I have real trouble attempting to analyze something that is worth 0.000000009 cents. Well, like if this was in Satoshis, I would understand, but well, like how do you price something like this? Like it is like one millionth of a single penny. Like I don't know what this
there
means.
might not even be a Satoshi value for that.
There can't
Yeah,
be.
yeah. Um, the way exchanges do this is that it's called 1,000. So they multiply it by 1,000, and that's effectively what you're trading. So, I guess 9 pennies at that point, or what is it, like 10,000th of a penny, whatever. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. These things are going. This is one that's been going nuts. This is one you get some crazy gains on some of these. So I hear you.
Okay, can you? But it was also on a 4 hour chart. Can
Yeah,
you make this like the daily at least,
yeah.
or
Let's
maybe
look at a
weekly?
daily. I'm gonna pull
Like
off
I'm not
this.
sure what I'm looking at here. Like
Ooh,
if you look at
baby.
it daily, uh, if you look at it daily, yeah, it looks like it has a chance to break out, right? It made a clear higher low
Hmm.
this year versus last year, and now it needs to break last year's swing high. So yeah, if this asset breaks last year's swing high, it can certainly do well. But again, this is versus the dollar. It
Yeah.
can break that swing high versus the dollar and yet still be down versus uh, Satoshis, right? So again, you're not going to be able to find it versus BTC, but maybe you can make your own
Let's just
custom
see.
version. Maybe you can do,
Yeah,
yeah, no, this is not
not gonna
uh,
work.
viewable, right? So what you want to do is you
It's
want to
all
make your own
zeros.
formula. You want to do uh, PP PEPE, right?
Uh-huh.
USDT, and then you want to divide that by the price of Bitcoin divided by, say, 100 million, right? So it's like in Satoshis. So I know I'm doing this formula on the fly, but this is the token in dollars versus uh, Bitcoin,
Like this
right? So
is
and
what you're
then you
saying?
want to divide it by sort of. You want to divide it by Bitcoin, but then you want to multiply that. You want to put that in parentheses and multiply that by the number of Satoshis. Uh, so you want to, nope, you want to put the other parenthesis uh, the other way. Close the area, then you open it in the front, and then you multiply that by 100 million.
Just can I just? Oh wait, hold on. Let me just click on this.
Yeah, there's a no, yeah, multiplication, right? By the way, I'm making this up on
100.
the fly. I hope this works. And a few more zeros. Yep. Maybe I think you put one too many. And then hit that. Try
Just
that.
enter.
Um, you need more zeros there, but yeah, enter.
One more zero.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, one, maybe another zero.
Okay.
Satoshis, right? So it's 100 million. So it's 100 plus three zeros plus three zeros.
I've never
Okay.
done that before.
So
This is pretty cool.
right. So I've never done this either, but so this should be um the price of this thing in Satoshis, right?
Yeah.
And now you see a very different picture. Now there is no higher low versus
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin. It actually made a lower low. And versus Bitcoin, it's got a long way to go to breach its swing high. So yes, you can trade it on a short-term basis, but very, very short-term basis. This is why I kind of try to stay away from these things.
Yeah. That's interesting. This is something that I'm gonna have to remember. I really like what you did there. So yeah, I mean, what do you think about CME gaps?
I don't care for CME gaps
Okay.
because Bitcoin trades 24/7 and CME is just a follower of price discovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe the CME drives Bitcoin because that
Yeah, that's true.
CME gap in the $25,000 range should never ever be filled.
Okay.
And I'm sure someone asked me about that CME gap in real time, and I would have said that gap will never be filled.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not that big on CME gaps, in my view. So I personally don't pay attention much.
Yeah, let's move on. Someone did ask a good question, and I think this is good discussion topic. What you think that there's a possibility of an all-time high? What is the probability of breaking all-time highs before halving, since we're only 30% away?
You know, a month ago, I would have said like 10, 15%. Now I have it as high as, let's say, 35, 40%. I still think it's unlikely for us to break all-time high before the halving, but I think it's certainly possible. As high as 40% for me.
Yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about is like we do have reasons for this bull market to be different and everything to be different about this sequence of events. The ETF is probably it. You know, you have a lot more reasons and for there to be eyes on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. So, I mean, one of the things that's been running through my head as well is like since 10 years ago, Bitcoin went from the bear market low and the percent wise increase was massive, right? And then from 1,000 to 20,000, it was a 20x run. And from 20,000 to 70,000, we're talking like a 3.5x run, right? So, do you have any thoughts on that? Like the distance between the previous all-time high, the bottom, or was 3K in Bitcoin, and then went up to 70. Do you think that we're still going to keep a lot of those sick gains, or do you think that it's going to start falling off? Like 20K to 70K is a 3x, and then 70K to do you think we go to 500,000? In which case we're talking like a 8x, 6x, whatever.
I think we are going to go lower by percentage terms because it's just a lot harder. When each Bitcoin is more expensive, it's a lot harder to move the market when the value on chain is bigger. So I would be very happy, but I would also be very surprised if we break $300,000 on this bull run,
Hmm.
whether that's next year or the year after. To me, a more realistic top is going to take place between 100,000 and 200,000. Getting close to 250,000 is acceptable, but going above 250,000 a Bitcoin in this bull market would be exceptional. And I am not expecting that. It's possible, but I think that we're going to go up a little bit less than in the last couple of bull markets. Though the last bull market wasn't crazy, the last bull market did come off a significant low of the COVID low of 3,000 and made it all the way to almost 70. If you cherry pick the very bottom of the price, yes, we moved up a lot quickly. In reality, we moved from about 10,000 to about 70,000. which was a 7x move, multiplying it by 7. So this pump kind of started around 25, 30,000. So, if we multiply 25,000 by 8, we get 200. So I think we'll stick to that.
Hmm.
I think the top's going to be somewhere less than a 10x move, and I'm not even going to cherry pick the very low of 15. I'm just going to go with the 25. Is when anyone should have recognized we're in a bull market. Is when we bounced off that 25, 20K level and 25K level.
Yeah, yeah.
So around that time period. So from there, I'm expecting us to go up at least 5x and as much as 8x,
Okay.
which takes us between 100K and 200K.
So, I agree. There's definitely a breach of the six-figure territory in our imminent future, and this is like the thing I think about. Um, is there's like more resistance per dollar. Once you start talking about, Bitcoin at freaking 25,000, there's more resistance per dollar, on the sell side than there would be at, resistance per dollar at an asset that's $10 right now. So I do think that that does have a slope that, you know, goes against these massive parabolic, highs that are going to increase or remain 10 to 20x, unfortunately. Let's see here. Apparently people, Austin liked when we would talk politics. I don't know if we have much to talk about right now. The world's just going to shit, and stay on the right side of history. But
Yeah, pretty much.
buy guns and learn to use them, right? Always keep something close. Uh, I don't know about the situation in other parts of the world, but in America we still have our goodies. But yeah,
Here in Panama, the gun laws are actually pretty relaxed. Uh, I mean, I've just been too busy, but yeah, if I wanted to and I learned a little bit of better Spanish, I can easily do the same thing Joe did. Panama has uh, somewhat friendly gun laws.
yeah. Yeah, and like I think one of the best things that you could do is get your money safe, right? It's like whatever the situation turns out to be, if you have to fucking pack your bags and get moving, I'd rather have a fucking USB drive, equivalent size thing, a Tracer, whatever that you can get, a hardware wallet, and you can disappear. You can, if there's border checkpoints, you take that fucking gold ring off your finger, you throw it in the guy's, face and say, "Hey, let us through," and bam, now you're getting your way into Mexico. Maybe you could catch a flight there to Panama, where it's safe, right? But all the while, you might have lost a freaking $5,000 ring and your wife's $5,000 bracelet, but you get to fucking Panama and you got all your total family wealth, right? So I think Bitcoin in any event, politics, whatever, it's the answer to so many fucking problems. It's always been the case. That's why I freaking you're a Bitcoin maximalist through to the core. It's ever since I've known you, never moved a muscle from that one where we've seen so many others fall, and it's for I think some of those reasons, right?
Yeah, and I can't wait for, a huge run up in Bitcoin, a few more crashes and shit coins,
Hmm.
and pulling out 10-year-old videos. And I'm like, I'm one of the few people that said things 10 years ago I would not take back. Like, I wouldn't change a single thing. I have a couple of those old interviews from like 2015 that I'm waiting for next year to
Mm,
re-release.
yeah.
So I'm like, hey guys, I said it back then, and nothing has changed.
Yo, that's a good point. Yeah, that's very true. Funny enough, I did see something like on Instagram. It was crazy. I never see Da Vinci anywhere on any online thing, but an Instagram thing showed Da Vinci back in like a picture of his video saying, "Please buy $1 worth of Bitcoin," something like that. And that shit was awesome, dude. It was actually great to see that. And yeah, I think it's been a fun run. I wish I would be able to have that same opportunity, but when I got banned my old channel and the fucking all those videos since 2018 are freaking deleted forever. So
Yeah.
um yeah, that includes the interview with McAfee and all that kind of stuff. Good times. But yeah, Greeny said he was going to be joining us. Greeny Joe said he was going to be joining us, but yeah, I think we're coming to a
Okay, we'll do it another time. I've been meaning to go down to Argentina, so hopefully I'll do some videos when I go down there to visit him.
yeah, yeah, he's become a good friend. We stay in touch. We keep talking. So thanks for that introduction. He's a cool ass
Yeah,
dude.
of course.
And of course you are as well. So yeah, I say let's plan to do another one. Where he's been on the road today and he was trying to rush, but I don't know if he'll make it. But yeah, I say we schedule another one. And of course it's fantastic to see everyone, and yeah, man, I'm just glad to see you're doing well. I'm happy life is good in Panama, and I honestly I really hope that unconfiscatable works out this year because that's just like it's just, 200 people. One of my favorite things about that tone was when we had the after party from not the poker night, like the scammies, when we were all in
Yeah.
one room and it was all of us in one place. It's not like it was like some people are at the D and second floor and first floor or this place. That was one of the best times I had while I was there, man. I really hope I hope something like that gets orchestrated again because we were just freaking just smoking cigars, chugging beers, and you know what I mean, just having the time of our lives, man. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking into it probably next month. Let me just one conference organization at a time. Let me
yeah,
settle
right.
the venue with Maldives, uh and then I'll start figuring out what's going on in Vegas.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thanks
All
so.
right, thanks, man.
Yeah, Tone. Thanks for tuning in. You guys remember you could check out his links at it's tonevays.com. Yeah, they all.
Yeah, Tombase.com still active and unconfiscatable financial summit. You guys know how to find me.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Okay, and ladies and
Just make
gentlemen,
sure it's the real me, not an imposter or a scammer.
yeah, that's a big problem going into a bull market. So yeah, you guys beware of
Yeah.
that and go to sazanalytica.com, check out Gigatrend for free for 2 weeks, including the Discord VIP, all the presets, everything. Cover that anytime you guys want. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Love you all, and I'll be seeing you